Socks and shoes are kind of like carpet and floor, just attached to your feet instead of the ground.
For some reason, every toaster has a bread setting that will absolutely roast whatever bread is in it.
Realizing how many of the rejected Shark Tank contestants went on to become successful, the billionaires are terrible investors.
Grass has an interesting existence where it is forever encouraged to grow. But when it grows too much it gets cut down, and if it grows in the wrong place it gets straight up murdered.
The majority of life is doing something you don't want to do for X minutes so that you can do something you do want to do for X minutes.
The older generation often hold the younger generation in contempt despite spawning and raising them. The younger generation often hold the older generation in contempt despite deriving most of their knowledge and values from them.
Us humans are a whole lot more symmetrical on the outside than on the inside.
With an IQ of 130 you are the dumbest gifted person.
In the future, looking back at Google Street View from 50 years ago will be a fascinating glimpse into the past.
Humans are the only large mammals on Earth that don't have their population controlled by hunting.
In the distant future, historians are going to struggle to know what's real and what was AI generated.
You are constantly tasting your teeth.
Since toys are alive in Toy Story, then there must be a legion of traumatized anime girl figurines.
Animals trying to court decoys are kinda like the guys in the comments of Instagram bots.
The greatest generation had an 8th grade education.
For some reason, society is convinced that we are designed to experience true happiness, just it's difficult to attain. In reality, however, never being content is an evolutionary advantage.
At a certain level of magnification, it is acceptable to show semen on TV.
The voice in your head is always the same volume.
There's a chance many of us dodged death without realizing when we chose to do one thing instead of another.
Now for a quick break, stay tuned for more shower thoughts. Your tongue is always narrowly dodging your teeth as you chew.
You really can't consume anything without something dying.
When you play chess you never really get to kill the only king, only take him as a prisoner.
The universe is a maximum security prison.
The last Titanic survivor died in 2009, so it's entirely possible that at least one of them got to watch Shrek.
Parsley on garlic bread doesn't affect the taste much. It seems more of a way to tell the consumer that the food product contains garlic.
At some point, the whole universe was at perfect temperature to cook pizza.
Younger generations aren't going to know the excitement of finding cash you forgot was in your clothing. I'm Bob Jeffy.
And I'm Lorelei Stewart. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back tomorrow with more shower thoughts. Bye for now.
Hey listeners, tired of all the doom and gloom on the news? Then check out the Get Happy Headlines podcast by my friends, Stella and Mickey. It's a podcast dedicated to bringing you family-friendly, uplifting stories from around the world. Give it a listen, I know you will like it. Search for Get Happy Headlines in your podcast player or check out the show notes page for the link. This podcast was produced by Klassic Studios. Please see the show notes page for source credits.